Highway near St. Cloud. The State Patrol says the victim's car had slid into a ditch on Highway 24 around 7 last night. He was out of the vehicle and standing on the shoulder of the road when he was hit by a pickup.
The victim's name is not being released, but the State Patrol does say he was from Maple Lake. Now, this crash comes after a similar fatality on I-29 south of Fargo over the weekend, plus a car pedestrian crash that injured a Northwood, North Dakota man on New Year's Eve. Also new this morning, an icy slide-off at the Minneapolis airport. A Delta jet's nose gear went off the pavement while it was taxiing to the terminal last night. No one was hurt, and crews spent much of the night working to move that aircraft.
The mishap was something of a reality check for the 147 passengers on board. They were all returning from Cabo San Lucas. And here's the latest on an incident at Hector Airport in Fargo that we first told you about yesterday right here on the Valley Today. Officials with Allegiant Air now say their jet returned to Hector Airport Monday night because an indicator light came on in the cockpit.
The company says it was not an emergency landing, even though several emergency crews were on scene. The captain says he just wanted to have that aircraft inspected.
Time now for a look at our storm team forecast as we get a glimpse of what's going on outside. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Well, we are dealing with snow in some places, fog in others this morning. We've been watching that storm system hitting places like Minneapolis for some time, and it's still snowing in the metro and up to the Duluth area as well. And this is all kind of moving its way just into that southeastern portion of our viewing area, continuing here into today. So we're looking at Lakes Country and even Fargo-Moorhead with the possibility for at least a few flurries today, maybe a little light snow as this continues to, as it works its way counterclockwise around that low, bring in that snow from the east northeast to the west southwest here. So watch out for a flake or two. We do have some snow coating the roads. We're going to hear from Jordan in just a bit, and we're talking about a little bit more snow coming our way too. Here's a look at our live view of that snow falling down at the Dakota Magic Casino. Not heavy snow, but still more snow coming down in that area. Also a report of a little bit of snow in Grand Forks this morning at 1 below right now. Fargo at 9. It's 6 in Thief River Falls. We're looking at 14 in Bemidji and 23 in Detroit Lake. So that's one of our warm spots. Devil's Lake, nowhere near that. We're at 2 below in Devil's Lake. So a big range of temperatures here in the valley. Now heading out to the bus stop this morning, going to be a little cold here for some of us. We'll see temperatures near 0 in some spots. In the Fargo-Moorhead area, again, it's 9 right now. And then into the afternoon, we're warming up into the teens. Some of us, again, that are already in the 20s, we just kind of stay there all day with mostly cloudy skies here today. Fargo, a chance for a little bit of snow, but overall we are looking at more just some cloud cover. And that wind does pick up a little bit out of the north. We'll see some wind speeds in the teens and then some gusts getting into the 20s at times this afternoon and evening. Eventually the snow does end heading into tonight for those areas getting it. So once that moves on, we're looking at a really nice quiet stretch here of weather. Temperatures not necessarily getting warm, but we're into the teens, right around average for this time of year, continuing on through the weekend and even to start next week with maybe a little breeze on Sunday, but that's about it for us. So getting a nice break from, it's been a long stretch of some very active weather, and we're still in it right now, at least with that snow that's coming down. So once that clears, it quiets down.
All right, a welcome week for us across our region. Thank you for that update this morning, Lisa. We know there are some tricky travel, though, this morning. How are the roads looking up over there?
Yeah, we want to get a check of that road report right now. If we're looking at northern Minnesota, not too bad around there. Thief River Falls, Roseau, Baudette, you got green, so pretty good travel there, or I should say seasonal. It really is. Once you start to hit around that Highway 10 line, if you were to just kind of cut right across Minnesota there, you would actually then start to see the south of that is where we're dealing with some issue this morning. All that pink on the map here this morning in Minnesota, that means fully covered snow roads. In fact, by the city of Otter Tail right now, they are reporting a spin out there. If we take a look at I-94 from about that Barnesville exit going all the way down to Minneapolis-St. Paul, we are talking about either partially to fully covered roads there with snow for the entire duration of it. Around Fergus Falls, we're talking partial coverage. Alexandria has full coverage on the roads there this morning. We have 4 crashes already being reported in and around the St. Cloud area. And then if you have to go to the Twin Cities today, it's going to be a real rough go. Give yourself extra time. They are dealing with entirely snow-covered roads there. 26 plus crashes already reported at this hour in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, so you're going to want to watch out for that. If you have plans to head to more west central Minnesota, they're also dealing with a bunch of snow-covered roads there. Brainerd, same story. That's all the way up to Grand Rapids and then back over to Duluth. So much of the state this morning dealing with that difficult travel. Now the focus is Minnesota. In North Dakota, you saw on that Hankinson Skycam just a little bit of snow coming down there, and of course showing it right here in Richland County. We also have a little bit of snow cover on that roads. Otherwise, North Dakota, green seasonal today. But we'll keep you updated with this on the VNL News app. Ashlyn?
All right, thank you for that real-time update. A Moorhead murder suspect back in jail in the Twin Cities this morning, accused and now a second death. Police in Minneapolis found a man dead of gunshot wounds last Friday night in a running vehicle near U.S. Bank Stadium. They ended up arresting 28-year-old Idris Haji Muhammad. He's the man accused in the deadly shooting of Abdi Muhammad Abdi in a Moorhead parking lot back in September of 2021. Haji Muhammad was out on a $1.75 million bond in the Moorhead case and was awaiting trial at the time of last week's Minneapolis murder. The trial underway for a Williston daycare provider charged with child abuse. Tori Vader is accused of shaking a baby in 2021, causing permanent brain damage. Prosecutors say Vader directly caused that injury, but Vader's attorneys say the baby already had symptoms before the incident. If convicted, Vader could face up to 20 years in prison. New information this morning on a car over a California cliff that we first told you about yesterday right here on the Valley Today. Police now saying that crash was intentional. The driver has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and child abuse.
4 people were in the car at the time. 2 children and 2 adults were in that vehicle. They were all seriously hurt. No word, though, on why that driver wanted to crash the vehicle. A new 4-way traffic signal could soon be put up at the intersection of 9th Street West and 32nd Avenue West, just a couple of blocks from the lights in West Fargo.
But how it's going to be paid for has been a concern among some residents and one West Fargo City Commissioner. There's a 2-way stop at that intersection currently, but the change being proposed aims to provide more safety measures and improve traffic flow. The project is estimated at $860,000 and could be funded using a combination of sales tax and special assessments.
The West Fargo city engineer says because of boundaries, there are likely other chances they'll need to add more traffic lights in other neighborhoods that would also get paid for with special assessments.
Procedurally, is this how we want to keep doing it or not? If we're going to have this over and over again, is that how this commission wants to keep paying for this, is using special assessments, or do we want to do it another way? I feel like we need a better plan.
Mayor Bernie Dardis agrees that the city should look at other options for funding, but says that could be addressed at a later date.
Billionaire oil industry giant Harold Hamm is pitching in $50 million to help build the proposed Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library in western North Dakota.
That library will honor the 26th U.S. president who was born in New York but later ranched in the Medora Badlands in the 1880s. Many of us have been there. It's another morning of scraping that ice off your windshield, and maybe you try to cut a few corners.
Yeah, we want to make sure you listen. Police have seen it too often and are reminding drivers that your windshield, back and side windows have to be clear of ice so you can see where you're going. Grand Forks PD popped this shot up on their Facebook page as a big reminder of what you're not supposed to do. We've had a lot of snow this season, and firefighters are out with another reminder to help clear space around fire hydrants so crews can hook up fast in an emergency.
They ask for a 3-foot clearance all the way around that hydrant, especially where the hoses connect with that water supply. Bison fans are revving up for Frisco, Texas, and so are we. The NDSU is the FCS defending champion. It is facing the league's #1 seed, South Dakota State, in the championship game this Sunday.
It's NDSU's 10th title game in just 12 years and SDSU's second in 3 seasons. Our Valley News Live sports crew is heading to Texas today to bring you coverage of all of that Frisco fun.
We'll hear from sports director Devin Fry tonight at 9 and 10, and then Courtney Lockie will be joining us tomorrow morning right here on the Valley Today.
We make sure that they pack their fiddles, everybody.
Get ready for it. We'll see you tomorrow.